A to the K.
To the K.
To the K. Is Seth Rollins headed to AEW?
Maybe. Well, is Charlotte Flair set to miss WrestleMania?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Kenny Omega sidelined indefinitely with diverticulitis.
Liv Morgan arrested.
Good. WWE trademarks new WWE Speed match concept.
Speed match. Are WWE set to cost AEW their TV spot?
What? Anthony Mendoza's coming up?
Right, freaking now.
Yes, it is.
Hey, he's on the screen too. Nice.
Almost like we planned it. So yeah, this one. Clickbaity, innit? Is Seth Rollins going to AEW?
Probably not.
Nah.
He's a lifer.
There you go. So I was about that.
He is very much like, this company gave me everything I could ever want. And everyone's like, ooh, contract's coming up though.
Yeah. So that's basically the long and short of it. His contract. He's trapped. He's trapped. His contract is set to expire just after WrestleMania. What are the odds? So April 2024. And the rumours going around is that Becky definitely, because their contract's coming up as well. She wants to have a much reduced schedule because she wants to break Hollywood.
Okay.
So there's that. But also, Seth's in a movie soon, Marvel one or something. Yeah. So the belief is that he also would like a reduced schedule. However, he wants it on the same terms as Roman Reigns. Which apparently
turn up whenever.
They're not giving that. They're not giving that out anymore, those kind of contracts.
I think they will.
So, yeah, it's led to some speculation, fuel to the fire, if you will, that, well, if he goes to AEW, they can give him all that and more. Because
the thing is, let's be realistic here. Are AEW going to offer him WWE money to appeal less than he ever did in WWE? I understand he's a really huge commodity, but let's say he's even entertaining the idea. They're going to want more of him as well, aren't they?
Yeah,
because
maybe.
you want to return on your investments. Like Tony Khan needs sort of big gets. Like I feel like I'm calling him a name. You big gets. You big get. They need big gets.
British
like,
thing ever.
They need big gets like Seth. So to
not like unhear that now.
So to offer him that similar thing, it'd be like, imagine a scenario where Tony offers him like a contract that is literally, well, I need you to appear like every fucking week for like a little bit, so people are like, whoa, what the fuck? But I appreciate that you want to reduce schedule, so the rest of the year you can just have off.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them, to be fair.
I don't know,
but
man.
what you got to factor in as well is WWE does a lot more live events than AEW, so there's that element. And also, the one thing Seth hasn't done so far in WWE is main event at WrestleMania, and it seems like he's going to do that night one with CM Punk this year.
Is that a true main event? Will only Punk will be able to tell us when he gets upset about not being, the main event of night 2 because that's the one that counts or whatever?
Yeah. I'm sure he'll get upset about something. Start punching people. That's what he does. But
I hate this, but I love muffins. Okay. Oh, he's back.
So, yeah, there is all that. But if you remember, there was that kind of thing, wasn't there? Was it Kenny and Seth basically like saying, "Oh, well, I'm better than you, and I'm better than you." And Will Ospreay's been involved as well. And it's like, well, where could Seth go to have these matches to prove he's the best?
Oh.
And obviously, you've got the natural connection with John Moxley there.
Is that going to be the tag team name? The Natural Connections?
Maybe. So, yeah. Do I think it's going to happen? Do I shite? Could it happen? Absolutely.
In the world
because
of wrestling,
based on this
anything
year
can happen.
alone, with everything that's happened, then never say fucking never.
I mean, let's be honest, it's also in the realms of possibility that enraged Tony Khan could be in the audience of WWE and hop the barrier and try and attack someone.
That is possible. Yeah.
We're not saying it's going to happen,
No.
but again,
It
could happen.
Could happen.
Possibly.
So, yeah, Seth freaking Rollins to AE freaking W. Probably not, but you never know.
Never know. One thing we do know, Carl, is that it seems that Charlotte Flair may be set for some time away from the ring, having recently had a match with Asuka, in which she, let's say, performed a maneuver from the top rope and has torn her MCL, her ACL, and meniscus. I don't know what those terms were, so I could say them on it.
Yeah.
But and basically it suggests that she may have also hurt her neck a little too, but that was kind of like, oh, and she may have hurt her neck as well because she kind of like fucked up a lot of stuff.
Right.
So, hopefully we haven't really been given a true idea of, like, obviously you got an idea of the injuries, but other than going, well, typically it takes X amount of time to recover. There's no sort of word on recovery time. So we can only hope that it's a speedy recovery for her.
Mm-hmm.
But sadly, it means she's going to have some time away and probably won't make Mania.
Not good at all. We in the past have been pretty vocal around Charlotte and the overuse of her and things like that. But I'm sure you'll agree, since this latest run that she's been on, I think she's been used really well in everything that she's been doing.
Somebody may be able to go back in the past to one of my rants and prove that I'm total fucking liar about this. But I don't think I've ever had an issue with Charlotte. She's definitely one of the best in the world, one of the best to do it. Right? She's a Flair, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
But it was down to the oversaturation. It's every fucking show. She was on every fucking show. Literally, she appeared on every fucking show.
Yeah,
so we were just a bit but yeah, it hasn't felt as in your face since her return. I think they've been handling her really well. They've been using it as the legend that she is, essentially.
Yeah. The one thing as well that I'd also worry about, and I know I don't want to take the limelight away from Charlotte at this point in time, but what does this mean for Jade? Because you've got to assume anyway that would have been the money match to make. I would have had Jade rock up at the Rumble and go after Charlotte or something. You know what I mean?
Let's face it.
That's the match.
Rhea.
I feel like it's going to be Rhea and Becky. Yeah, that's where they're going with that one.
Maybe. The
seeds are planted there. You could have Jade versus Bianca maybe, but it just doesn't have the big fight feel that Charlotte would.
It won't have the same impact, yeah. I think they should treat Jade with the respect she deserves and actually put her against Rhea at this point. Yeah. If she can't go for Charlotte is the natural match. That's what should happen. Mm-hmm. But if you can't do Charlotte, then Rhea.
Yeah. I just, whatever they decide, I hope it doesn't derail her from making her debut and stuff, because, creatives we've got this one plan, something happened, we've got nothing. You really? It was yeah.
We got all this work we have to do. You just totally weren't ready for the ring, which is, he's definitely showing up for the ring.
Well,
that was some bullshit, wasn't it? We got all this work we need to do.
It was a way to, have a shot at AEW, but also keep people thinking she's not going to show up anytime soon. It's genius. But yeah, what a hell of an injury for Charlotte. So hopefully, she does recover as quickly as she can do, and we get to see her back soon.
Indeed.
So, speaking of people who aren't having the best of times at the moment, Kenny Omega put on his Twitter X account, whatever you want to call it these days. Stupid Elon.
Twitter. We'll call it Twitter.
But there's no birds and you don't tweet anymore. None of it makes sense. But Kenny posted that he's had to take some time for himself, essentially, because he's been working hurt for a while. And it turns out he's got diverticulitis, which is not.
I've heard of that before.
Not ideal. So he.
I've heard of that before. Why have I heard of that?
Brock had it.
That was the thing Brock had.
Yeah. And also, in a fucking cruel twist of fate, really, people were blaming Kenny because the F5 in the AEW game is called diverticulitis. And they've gone, oh, Kenny's having a shot at Brock there. And Kenny's like, I didn't have anything to do with it. I oversaw the game. I didn't name the moves.
I wonder who named it. That's quite funny.
It is. I have no idea why. But, what are the odds? Now he's got it himself. But so I don't know what this means for the whole Golden Jets storyline that he was in with Chris Jericho at the minute. But I don't know if you saw Dynamite last week.
I wasn't really digging the Jericho and him, man.
I wasn't. But he definitely, you could tell something was off, because in the promo last week, he just was phoned it in. He made loads of mistakes. And
I'm just going to scream for 5 minutes until the microphone comes on.
Do you think something was wrong with him? I'm not sure. Hard to tell. So, yeah, he's basically had to undergo, I guess, what do you do? Surgery for that? I'm not too sure. But
I guess so.
He's out indefinitely anyway. Tony Khan commented on it, basically saying it's hard to even think about wrestling right now when it's a member of the family, basically. One of the originals, the founders of the company. And yeah, so it's not good news. But it was announced and everything set for a tag match at World's End. So it was going to be them, the Golden Jets versus Ricky Starks and Big Bill. So yeah, I've got an idea what the way they're going to go with this. Make sure you check out our World End predictions for what my thoughts are.
You ain't going to get them here.
We'll probably find this out tonight, and when we put it out there, it's already behind anyway. Because that's how it rolls. But just a shit situation. And I think people keep saying Kenny needs to take a step back now and all that, but he's boss, isn't he?
I'm so confused when people do that, because why are they saying he needs to take a step back?
because like his body's so beat up and all that. You know, because
I mean, all right. So the rest thing, it's not like you need to take a step away from wrestling now. It's like just rest up.
Oh no, like they want him to wind it down.
Oh, like wind it down. Like funny guy wind it down.
Like,
so how can you be in the same realm of people who are like, oh, Kenny needs to wind it down now, and also in the same realm of people going, LA Knight's the future of the company. I just don't understand people.
A young whippersnapper.
Like if they can wrestle, they can wrestle. Like Ric Flair's proved that he can't.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a strange one, but I don't know. Kenny has still had some of the best matches this year.
Yeah.
So it's crazy people saying like for him to hang it up.
I mean, definitely have some rest.
Yeah. Well,
maybe some antibiotics.
Yeah. You know, that good stuff. But yeah, hopefully we see him back soon. But hopefully he's healed up because it sounds like he's carrying a few issues at the minute.
Indeed. Speaking of issues at the minute,
and carrying.
So Liv Morgan, Carl, was arrested recently for possession of cannabis and some sort of synthetic substance or something like that.
Yes.
Now, I found this very interesting because she was actually arrested when you read the initial thing of like why she was sort of pulled over is because apparently she was swerving all over the road. Right. All right. May have paraphrased that slightly, but you get the point. The driving seemed erratic enough that they pulled her over, found drugs, right? So she gets arrested, and no one's really got the like. I haven't seen the police report. Maybe that's come out somewhere. You know, I don't look that far into it because, like, that. I mean, it's almost obsessive. At that point, isn't it? But so much of the internet was like, "Oh, it's just weed. Get over it." And you're like, "I get that. It's legal in a lot of places now, and in a sense, it is just weed. Get over it." But like, are they actually doing it for possession of cannabis, or are they doing it for driving like a tit? Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Like, that's the bit I'm not sure on.
Yeah, but like, can you? I guess you can do kind of toxicology stuff to see whether she was under the influence at the time.
I mean, you can in this country, so presumably, of course, you can. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know. Like the arrest is neither here nor there. Like you say, it's in some senses the drug element is a very minor offence, especially in the current landscape of America and the world, where it's just a lot more widely accepted.
Yeah, but by all accounts,
it's not like she was shooting heroin while driving with her knees or something like that. You know. But
by all accounts, it wasn't even hers, supposedly.
Yeah, I've heard that suggestion that, like, well, this is the thing. She's like, well, the vape pen with the synthetic substance, somebody just left that in my Jeep. And I'm not saying that that's not true, but that's like a hard one to prove. So that'll be down to like legal reps or whatever. But the interesting thing is that whilst there's been no word from WWE, it does not seem to be derailing any of their push in the future. You know, apparently there's plans for use of it in 2024 in a high-profile sort of story, if you will.
As she should be, because she's a legend.
And I wouldn't want this to derail her, but we have seen it with WWE before. They get very touchy over the wellness stuff. You know, sometimes you only get like 6 chances in that right.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. Isn't that right, Matt? But
bro.
But it'll remain to be seen. I don't think it remains to be seen. It's not like we're going to come back to this and go, news just in, we've had the reports, because at the end of the day, she's had the arrest and they're going to deal with it as they do.
Well, exactly.
The important thing is that she's still going to be active on the roster by the looks of it, and it's not going to affect her profile in both WrestleMania and wrestling.
At the end of the day, you only live once, you know?
Hey, sometimes you've got to live and let live.
Well, yeah. And also, she even looks pretty in a mugshot, doesn't she? Live. So, next one to talk about, WWE have filed a new trademark, only this time it's for something kind of trippy, to be fair. So,
speaking of drugs,
Speed! WWE Speed! Poster child, Liv Morgan. But, yeah, so they're trying this new match concept. It's kind of like an Iron Man match, except it only lasts 5 minutes, so maybe it's like a Tin Man match, I'm not really sure. But they're calling it WWE Speed.
It's like a premature Iron Man match.
Yeah. I'm an Iron Man. I can last almost 5 minutes. So I believe the premise of it is how many pins you can get in 5 minutes. And the person with the most pins gets a point. If it's a tie, they get 0 points.
I already hate the sound of this.
Yeah, it's weird. So they're trying it now on, it was a dark thing on SmackDown. But is this WWE's attempt to say, well, similar to Maddie when we were chatting with her, and she's like, people can't digest long-form content anymore.
Is this
WWE
TikTok equivalent? Like, let's have a load of matches we can put on TikTok.
Yeah, it could be brilliant, to be fair.
The thing that annoys me with concepts like this, and the reason I know I already don't like it, right, is, and I'm willing to suspend disbelief before anyone comes at me for that, right? But it's the fact that suddenly it'll be super easy to pin people.
Well, yeah, that's
like in any normal match, you can't pin someone inside of 5 minutes.
Exactly.
In any normal match, that wouldn't happen. We're going to get 6 or 7 pins in the space of 5 fucking minutes, and you're going to wonder how. It's the same way that suddenly everyone loses the ability to climb a fucking ladder when there's a ladder match.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
No ladder match. You're up there in seconds and diving onto people.
Exactly.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
And then
could you imagine that
ladder match comes along and suddenly you're like, oh, my legs don't work.
You're at home trying to put your Christmas lights up. Nice, dude. Just doesn't happen, does it? You just get up there.
Fucking nuts. And it's shit like that. Like I don't understand. Like I much prefer when it's like with a ladder match you can do it, so like you don't pretend like they would really climb it rather slowly. You just have people interfere and you have it difficult for them to actually do it because the competition is the point.
Yeah.
And it's like this now. Really speaking, you should have this match and go, you have 5 minutes and no fucker gets pinned because it's not that easy.
Exactly. Which doesn't really sound that fun, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It feels like they're going to go down like the finisher spam route where it's like finisher, pin, and like, do something that way. But very weird. And as you say, the thing that concerns me, similar to you, is it is going to distract from the normal product because how can you have like 10 pins happening in 5 minutes over here and then an Iron Man match that ends 0-0, like it goes to sudden death over there. Like it doesn't make any sense. So
I just find it unless they book it where like Roman's in one of these and he just comes out and he's just like, line the fuck down, and they just do it. That's all.
Maybe, yeah. But like the thing that interests me as well is like the whole scoring element of it. So you get a point at the end. So like, what you can do some kind of weird table or something? Is it like the Continental Classic?
Scoring elements literally just like a pin. Another pin.
You get a pin. Everyone gets a pin.
And somehow Cody will overproduce this. I don't know how yet, but somehow.
Exactly. So it's interesting. Definitely bold strategy, Cotton. That David pays off.
Underrated role for him, though, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, all Bates.
He normally plays the straight man. That's the term, isn't it?
No.
It's got to be the term, right?
I'm just saying.
Like,
I don't know.
Look, don't come at me like that. That's the term, right? You have to. You know what? I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave this alone in case I'm very wrong. Anyway, Carl. Speaking of very wrong, Dave Meltzer's been talking recently. He's been talking about the potential for Warner Brothers Discovery. Name's just getting longer and fucking longer. Having some sort of interest in WWE, specifically in WWE Raw TV rights deals. And apparently, these talks have increased since the signing of CM Punk. However, this is all from the word of Dave Meltzer. What we do have outside of the world of Meltzer is a suggestion that Triple H himself, along with Tony Khan, no, not Tony Khan, the other Khan, Nick Khan.
I mean, that'd be interesting.
That would be interesting. Did meet with the head of Warner Brothers Discovery or whatever in New York. So there are definitely talks taking place. And I don't know, man, this is pretty
it seems
sketchy,
unlikely that they're going to air both WWE and AEW on the same network.
I doubt they will, to be honest. I feel like that if they're interested in WWE, then that's probably it for AEW on their channel, which is interesting because you imagine straight away as looking at the other networks who they would be leaving. I can't remember who Raw's on now. Let's say USA.
Yeah, let's go there. Yeah. SmackDown's on Fox, I think. Yeah, USA for.
So you got to imagine they'll want to pick up some sort of wrestling content, and as much as people want to talk shit on the old interwebs, like AEW is a viable product from a TV standpoint. Yeah. So surely they obviously they might not get as good a deal as WWE did, because this is the funny thing. It's not like they're going to turn around and go, "We'll give you the exact same money we were giving them." It doesn't fucking work like that, does it?
No.
They are a smaller company, but they might get less of a deal. But they will probably want some sort of content to fill that spot. So maybe
the old switcheroo.
Old switcheroo. Yeah.
The problem there, though, is that Warner Brothers Discovery have gone all in on AEW. They've got 3 shows on there. It's just
heavily into
so
it.
Dynamite is on TBS.
It's an but you know what's like really surreal for me, and I know these TV deals work really weird, especially when it comes to international. But like you watch WWE content in this country now on TNT Sports, which throws me quite a lot. Like, that's weird. Weird to see.
Well, I saw that people were going like crazy because there's a WWE on TNT account. Everyone's going, and it's like, what's
TNT Sports?
Because it already exists, dickhead. Like,
that's the UK and probably some other regions in Europe. But so that's kind of surreal anyway and weird. But that's just how TV deals tend to work, isn't it? Like, because as I understand it, Discovery have some sort of relationship with BT, who are in a deal with WWE.
Who knows?
It's fucking weird.
All the billionaires in bed together.
Like BT Sports doesn't exist now, by all accounts.
Yeah, no, it's gone.
It's TNT Sports because they have a deal with Discovery. So then you go, well, how the fuck does that work?
Who knows? Maybe they do just keep all of them, but they just put them all on different networks, so you have to watch like
all the Marvels. So they're just fully relegated to CBS.
Yeah, the fucking AEW on National Geographic. I'm defending the Nat Geo title.
The Puma Kid. You gotta keep the theme.
But like, to be fair, stuff like this does make you question.
I'm gonna say Prince Puma. That would have even made more sense.
Stuff like this does make you question AEW strategy, because they've literally got the TNT and TBS titles. So if they ever leave the network,
you have to change it.
Like, did they just change the name of it then?
And you can't have the Fox title.
Exactly.
Let's assume they go somewhere like that.
Foxy.
Feels like a sexual harassment suit waiting to happen.
Does a little bit.
This title's for you.
Yeah. And then Tony's just like, we can bring back Alicia Fox. So yeah, interesting all around.
But we don't know fully what's happening. We just know there's speculation and talk. Or if you believe the word of the internet, sometimes like CM Punk has single-handedly done this, and say, yeah, that's how powerful this man is.
Yeah, does whatever he wants. That
brought
guy.
a network with him.
Yeah. That's why Collision was made. It was CM Punk's show, and that's why Warner Brothers are now going after Raw, because CM Punk's on there. Fucking hell, that guy.
Fucking Discovery. Yeah, they discovered wrestling back in 2010 when Punk was popular, apparently.
Yeah, apparently so. So yeah, that be the news this week. Short and sweet. And do all the good stuff. Like, subscribe, whatnot, and we'll catch you on the next one.